Hello there guys, and welcome to this live stream. Welcome aboard Qantas 429 service from Sydney to Melbourne in Australia. We are in Sydney at the moment, and today we are going to be flying the Zibo Boeing 737 in the Real World Flight Routes series. And this specific scenery is from ISDN, I believe, something like, or ISDG, something like that. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be flying at a final cruise altitude of 36,000 feet, and we are going to be using self-loading cargo. So what I'm going to try and do here is it doesn't want to start for some reason. There we go. It tells us to start our battery, so let's go ahead and do that. We're gonna head over here, just turn on the battery and the ground power unit. And before we actually start boarding the passengers, we're gonna set up our fuel. So let's bring up, nope, that's not it. Yep. We're gonna go to output and operational flight plan, and this is our plan today. Welcome everybody. It's good really to have you guys here, and let me go ahead. Actually, I did forget to do something which I need to do. Streamlabs has been acting very weird lately, so yeah, so let me see if I can start the cloud bot.
Tango, expect the left turn passing 4,000. Kilo into Tango.
Okay. All right, so let's set things up while things are happening in the background there. We're going to go to load payload, and we're going to take a look here at our fuel. 7218 73, so 7400 for our fuel, 7400 for the fuel. And for payload, we're going to go to the next page, 17. So let's go ahead and click here. 17. No, that's not what I wanted to do. 17.0. There we go. That's right. Okay, let's head back and call the fuel truck, and we're going to get refueled now. And once we are done with the setup, actually, let's do this. All right, let's test here real quick. Test all warnings are fine. We're going to set the IRSs to nav mode. There we go. Test that. That tests okay. And we're going to come down here. Everything here looks good. We'll arm with the emergency light. Turn on the hydraulics, trim air, packs, and everything else. Okay, so the cruise altitude today is 36,000 feet. And that is set, and the landing altitude is 450. Make sure this is on steady. Everything here looks good. All right, let's go ahead and do the fire test. Cargo tire test. All right, everything looks good here. Everything looks good here. And looks like we are ready to program the FMS. All right, let me just turn this on here real quick. All right. Let's see here if this is gonna work out. I'm just fiddling around with Streamlabs now to be able to. All right, everything looks good now. Okay, we're good now. We can continue our setup. And in the meantime, let's see if we can come here, and let's see here.
Hi, cabin crew, we're ready to get going now, so as soon as you're ready, you can open the doors and start letting the passengers on board. Thank you.
All right, so now we can, the passengers are boarding the aircraft. Everything looks good here. Let's go to the FMC, position initialization. We are at Yankee Sierra Sierra Yankee. And we will go to the next page, grab the GPS position. And then we're going to go to route. And then the destination is Yankee Mike Mike Lima. Our flight number today is Qantas 429 QFA 429. And I'll get to you guys, I'll get to all your questions. Just let's set up the aircraft and then we should be good. All right, and that is now good. Departure today, let's bring up our flight plan here real quick. Okay, so the flight plan today is actually pretty simple. We're going to be departing 34 left, which is quite away from our position, but we are currently parked at the domestic terminal in Sydney. So 34 left is the departing runway, and Whiskey Oscar Lima 2 is our SID out of Sydney. All right, route, next page. Let's see here. We're going to take Airway Hotel 65 to Razi. Hotel 65 to Razi. And then we're going to take Quebec 29er to Lizzie. Quebec 29er to Lizzie. And finally, it is our approach into Melbourne through the Lizzie 8 Alpha Star, and we're going to be performing an ILS approach, runway 27. So we're going to activate that, and we're going to go to departure arrivals, and we're going to select the arrival. That is our star, and ILS, let's see here, ILS, we'll pick that one here through the visas transition according to our plan. Execute that, and we are now done with the route. Let's go ahead and make sure there are no discontinuities, which there isn't. And everything here looks good. Let's go to the performance, and the reserves is so you want to add the alternate with the final reserves. That is 2, that's about 3. So that's what we're going to enter. The cost index is 30. And the cruise altitude for our flight today is 36,000 feet. Right, cruise wind. The average wind is 209.48, 209 degrees, and 48 knots. We're going to enter that. And the ESA, average ESA is 2. We're going to enter that. Transition altitude is 10,000 feet, and we can execute. Limit, we're going to derate here. And then we'll go to the takeoff page, flaps 5 today for departure. That gives us a V1 of 139, a V rotate of 140, and V2 of 148. Okay, center of gravity 227.6, that gives us a trim of 4.75. That's about right. And we are all good to go here. Okay, let's go ahead and start the APU now.
Warhorse 243 approach.
Warhorse 243 is now in 90 helicopter for Airbus.
Everything looks good here.
PLB 2 with receipt of Bravo. We're approaching
Will you be planning a real-world flight with the Tolos A321? Absolutely. That's coming up very soon. I'm actually planning something as we speak, and it's probably going to be somewhere in the Middle East. So I have been requested to do more flights in the Middle East, so that's what I'm going to do in the Tolos A321 flight. All right. Let's start the APU.
3000, clear island 01 right.
Okay. It's actually pretty cold here in Sydney. Did it start? No, I think it started now. Okay, now the APU is running. Okay. All right, so all is good here now. We can turn on, I'm not sure what's the status of our passengers, so let's see here. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Board all passengers.
And then we're ready to go, Pierre. So once everyone's on board, please feel free to close the doors and we can get going.
All right, we don't need that.
Okay, great. We're almost done.
Qantas 623, contact departures, g'day. Departures Qantas 623, g'day.
Everything looks good here. Here.
Hi, Captain. All passengers are on board and doors have been closed.
Thank you.
All right, so all the passengers are on board the aircraft and we are ready to go. We're going to set our altitude here to 36,000 feet. And let's see here. I actually can't recall what was our V2 148, was it? Yeah, 148. So we'll set that here.
Thank you, cabin crew. Please prepare the aircraft for our departure. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board. My name is Susan Whitford and I'm your customer service manager. Leading the team in the main.
We are ready to go. We are going to turn on the fuel pumps and we're going to, the anti-collision light is actually on. And I know why, because I think I have the, there we go. Much better. All right, so we're good to go. We're going to call the pushback truck now and head over to runway 34 left for departure. I hope it does not. Thank you very much for subscribing to the channel, Captain Nick. Welcome aboard. I hope it doesn't crash. So I did roll back the driver, the NVIDIA driver. Okay, let's push back out of our position.
And ground to cockpit. G'day, mate. Go ahead and show me where you'd like to point us.
All right, so we are actually heading the other direction.
Ground to cockpit. Tow's driving up right now.
All right, here's the tow truck. Let's take a look at the wing view here. The Zebo is just really a marvelous plane. Really, really nice. And we have a new subscriber to the channel. Welcome. And thank you for all of you who have... we need to remove the... we need to remove... disconnect the GPU. All right, let's turn on the seatbelt signs.
All right, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Yeah, I'm not exactly following the correct procedures there. Oh, we need to set the altimeter. The altimeter is, let me just grab it from my weather application on my mobile so that we are accurate. 1019. There we go. 1019. Okay. TCAS is on standby.
Connected and bypass pin inserted. Release the parking brake when you're ready.
All right, folks, we are ready to power up our pushback and power up our engines. So parking brake is released.
Alright, starting the pushback, and you may spool them. Clear to start engines.
All right, we have our clearance to start our engines. Engine number 2. And engine number 2 is now spooling. All right, and there we go. Power.
Cabin crew, please arm doors. Thank you.
451 Delta, descent to 4000, cleared on Abdullah, runway 14 approach.
It's going to be quite a taxi to runway 34.
451 Delta, descent to 4000, cleared on Abdullah, runway 14
Welcome to
approach.
Longreach, in central Queensland, the home of Qantas.
G'day. Oh, shit. She's all good. Triple checked. I'll fly it myself.
We started here in 1920 as the Queensland and Northern Territory Aerial Services. Safety has always
All right,
been
let's go ahead and start engine number 1.
Today, with your help, we're going to keep it that way. Give us your attention for the next few minutes to make
Hi,
your journey
Captain.
a
The
safe
cabin is
as we
secured.
take a journey through
Contact.
100
We're
years
ready
of
to go.
innovation and Australian spirit. Welcome to Qantas.
This here's a number 50.
Yes, this is the latest SIBO update. I believe it's 0.16. All right, and let's give it fuel here.
In the 1930s, Qantas are world leaders in aviation innovation, with fully enclosed cabins, an in-flight bathroom, and even
Are you
seatbelts.
playing
Fasten your
NPC?
seatbelt
Yeah,
clasp
that is
into the
definitely
front
a
wheel.
PC.
By pulling the strap. You can undo your seatbelt by pressing
All
the
right.
button. Keep it done up low and tight during takeoff, landing, and whenever the seatbelt sign is on. That includes infants and children. While seated at other times, we recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened.
Good evening there, my friend.
Alright,
And
mate.
welcome to
Operation
the
complete.
stream.
Go ahead and set the parking brake.
Base in Rose Bay, Australia's first
Okay, let's set the
international
parking
airport,
brake.
right here on Sydney Harbour.
Alright, mate. Disconnecting toes, stand
What
by.
happened here?
Yours are a little more modern.
That's
You'll
not
find
the
one
right
under
trim
your seat,
setting.
next to it or in the leg rest. Remove your life
That's about
jacket
right.
from the pouch by pulling the tab. Put it over your head, pass the strap around your waist. clip
By the way,
front,
Captain,
and
isn't it
tighten.
night now in
There's a red
Australia?
tag
Yes, it
and
is.
a
It
release
probably
reflection.
is.
And a whistle and light. And remember, only inflate your life
They've got
jacket
the disco
after
shoes
leaving
on,
the
yeah. Yeah, this is actually a very old announcement for an international flight. But it comes with self-loading cargo. All right, so let's see here. We're gonna set engine mode to continuous. Yaw damper is on, and probe heat is on.
Toe is disconnected. Bypass
Packs
pin.
on auto.
fuel moved.
Isolation valves
Thumbs up on
on
the left,
auto.
and catch you next time. Have a safe flight.
And we can now turn off the APU bleed and turn off the APU. We're gonna turn on the taxi lights on, wing lights on, and let's see here. Full up, full down, full left, full right, pedal full left, full right, and all's good. Let's set flaps 5 for departure.
If you're seated behind a bulkhead, or you can't reach the seat in front, lean as far forward as you can and hold on to your lower legs.
All right, flaps 5 are set. We are ready to go. Let's do a final check here and make sure everything is okay. All's looking good. All right, let's release the parking brake
Welcome to the
and head over to runway 34 for departure.
Brought the world closer together. Take a moment to locate your exit as the cabin crew point them out. It might be behind you,
To remember your nearest exit,
Not
count
sure.
the number of rows between you
There
and
we
that
go.
exit. Lights will guide you to your exits. Your crew members are pointing them out now. Welcome to the 1970s and our 747 Upper Deck Lounge, when Qantas first introduced yet
1970s, did you? It's a very, very old announcement.
has always been important to us. Please help us to create a safe, respectful and positive environment for everyone on board.
All right, that's a Jetstar ahead of us there.
Smoking isn't allowed on Qantas flights anymore. Your aircraft is fitted with smoke detectors, including in the toilets, so there's no smoking until you're back on the ground. This includes e-cigarettes, whatever they are.
So I was wondering, I did a poll on the community tab, asking people for you know, whether they prefer the live streams on a Saturday or a Friday, and most of you guys would like to see the streams on Friday night. The only problem, I'm not sure, you know, where those answers are coming from. Are they coming from the US, you know, Pacific Standard Time, Eastern Standard Time? I wasn't sure, so we'll see. All right, I'm quite unfamiliar with this airport, so I think we have to make a turn here. Yeah. So I think we need to follow this aircraft and make a turn here, or perhaps there, in order to take, this is the runway, this is runway 34 left right there. So we will follow the aircraft, make a turn here, and then take the taxiway all the way to runway 34. Yep, that'll work.
You can read more about what we're doing today in your Qantas magazine, located in your seat pocket. It also includes a health and safety section with important information on deep vein thrombosis, or DVT. It's time to ensure that your seat back is upright and your tray table is stowed. If you've missed anything, it's on your safety card, also in your seat pocket.
Your crew are here to help, so please follow their instructions at all times. They'll be coming by later with a UNICEF chain for Good Bag, a Qantas program that has already raised over $35 million.
Yeah, I think the turn is coming up right there. Let's just make sure. Yeah. So we got to go there, cross runway 34 left, and then take the taxiway all the way to the beginning of the runway. Now I'm thinking of using time compression in this video once we reach cruise level. But you guys let me know if that's something you want to do. It will shorten the time a little bit.
Whether you're starting your journey or heading home.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for flying with us.
Thank
All right,
you
that's
for
our
showing
turn.
respect to each other and our crew. Thank you for your loyalty.
Australia is actually one of the countries on my bucket list.
Have a great flight.
I definitely want to visit Australia sometime in the future. Alright, so we're just going to make sure there are no incomings on either side. We are good.
3, 4 left.
Alright, and then we're going to continue here and just take the taxiway all the way to the beginning of runway 34 left. This is actually a very, very old scenery of Sydney, but it is one of the best I've seen. And ISDG, I think they create really great scenery. I'm not sure whether they stopped or maybe they've been rebranded as another company that I don't know. But they've created both Sydney and Melbourne. All right, here we go. We're almost there now. All's looking good. Right, runway turn off lights. Let's turn on the landing lights as well. Here's our turn.
Cabin crew seats for takeoff, please.
Thank you very much, Stan. Yeah, that really helps because I wasn't really sure if, you know, I think that really helps a lot. I think because if I look at the channel statistics, most actually viewers are from the United States, followed by the UK, and then France, Australia. So I gotta somehow manage the time so that you guys are all able to tune in. All right, folks, here we are. Runway 34 left. We are ready for departure. There are no incoming aircraft. We are good.
Approaching 3-4 left.
Auto throttle is armed.
Flight 727 Delta Hotel.
On runway 3-4 left.
And we are cleared for takeoff. Stable and toga. Some wind there. Wow, really strong wind. 80 knots. 100. 100 knots. V1, rotate.
Positive read.
And gears going up.
400. $1,000.
1,000 feet. Being out. Right, out now. And flaps 1. And flaps up. And we can go ahead and engage the autopilot. All right, and we are now climbing, ladies and gentlemen, to our cruise altitude of 36,000 feet. Terrain and airports. Yeah, the head shake is from XP Realistic. Seems a bit too high for the wind. Yeah, it might be. Yeah, it might need some tweaking there. Right, 7,000. At 8,000, we're going to release the cabin crew. Actually, let's take a quick look here. We can actually begin the in-flight service. Let our cabin crew, begin the food service. Head shake to 25. Oh, is it? Okay, well, thanks very much for that. Yeah, I'll definitely try doing that. All right, 8,000 feet, all's looking good. And we can now, let's see here, 9,000, 9,500. I think that's close enough. We're going to turn off the seatbelt signs and the landing light, turn off lights, taxi, and... Ooh, no, not the anti-collision. The wing lights. All right, so we are good now. And the bar reference set to standard. All is looking perfect at the moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, the seatbelt sign will be switched off shortly. However, for all safety, we recommend that you keep your seatbelt as you have in case of any unexpected turbulence. We have an excellent team on board today, and we are all happy to offer you any assistance you may require.
So, here's a question for you guys. What is it that you enjoy the most about flight simulation? Obviously, it is entertaining, so it is definitely a lot of fun. But knowledge-wise, do you normally do it just for fun, or to learn about aviation, or what is really that excites you the most about the hobby? I really would like to kind of learning. Yeah, so I really would like to understand what people really like about flight simulation the most. I'll tell you, for me, it has been extremely educational. Not just learning about aviation, but actually learning about a lot of different countries, and what the terrain looks like. For example, I met I had a long wait at London Heathrow a couple of years back, and there was this lady from Norway, and we started chatting about things and life in general. And then I told her, what does Bodo look like? And so she asked me if I've been to Norway, and I told her no, but I visited the area in the sim. So she smiled, and yeah, she told me quite a bit about Norway. So it's definitely gives you a lot of insight on other countries, and how people. I go in normally and search, because when I normally fly to a country in the sim, I like to actually learn about it. The population, what is the favorite food, and all that good stuff. But also in terms of aviation, something takeoff scenery I like the most. Yeah, the fact that I can talk to people from other countries on IVO and BATSIM, that's definitely really nice. Can't afford flying lessons, so simming is closest I will get. That's a good one. Outside view, yeah, for sure. That's the outside view right now. Let's see here. Actually, let me do this. There you go. That's the outside view. Some wing view, engine view. There we go. And we continue our climb. Yeah, I'm really interested in what you guys have to say here. I fly for fun. I like to learn how to fly most planes, and now with the Air Hauler 2, I have much to do. Air Hauler 2, by the way, if you like those, you know, tycoon type games, I think it's a really nice game. Dougal, how are you doing, my friend? I also use Sims for my PPL training, which was great. Yeah, absolutely. It's a great training tool. I've met loads of amazing people through it. Yeah, full flight. Likewise, I think for me, I've come to know a lot of people, you know, all around the world. In fact, some people we've actually exchanged mobile numbers, and we actually talk on the phone now, or we message each other. So that's kind of cool. You got to be careful with that, though. It's not something I advertise, but but yeah, over the years, definitely I have come to make some very good friends in a lot of countries around the world. One other thing that was really interesting on an Emirates flight, it was an A380. We were coming back from Dubai. I was heading back home. Was with my wife and kids, and I remember that it was an extremely hot day. So it was probably anywhere between 42 to 45 Celsius, so steaming hot. We boarded the aircraft, and the aircraft was really hot, so the air conditioning wasn't working. Of course, the APU was not turned on. And then the captain spoke and said that there is a problem with the air conditioning system, and they have the external power on, and something to that effect. So I looked at my wife, and I didn't realize that the cabin crew was standing right behind me. So I told my wife, by the way, there is absolutely nothing wrong with the air conditioning. This is a very short flight on an A380, and the aircraft was virtually empty. There was very few families on board the aircraft. So I told her the captain does not want to start the APU because he wants to save on fuel. And so my wife, she said, really? And then the cabin crew told me, you know, she said, sir, are you a pilot? I said, no, I just know a lot about aviation, that's all. So that was, you know, that was my 2 cents there. So it does, you know, all the tricks that pilots used to play on us before, it won't work now. So that's kind of we have a new member, Kilavia. Is that how to say your name? I'm not sure. I do apologize if I said it wrong, but welcome to the VVIP membership of the Q8Pilot channel. I like to escape to different countries, especially while in lockdown. I don't have freedom to go outside the house because of I'm very sorry to hear that. So this is my way to escape. That is definitely, you know, that is definitely something that flight simming brings to a lot of people. It does bring a lot of joy to a lot of people in that way. So. So yeah, Edwin, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts. Thank you, everybody, for sharing your thoughts here. Yeah, flight simming is extremely educational from an aviation perspective, I think, and also from, you know, just general life perspective. It really teaches us a lot, and you also, you know, get to learn a lot of other things. So you learn about software, you learn about computers, you learn about graphics. It's just a really very enriching experience with flight simming. I really enjoy it. How long is this flight? So this flight is actually pretty long. It's 1 hour 45 minutes, but I was contemplating doing the compression, which I think I am going to do. So I am going, oh, by the way, we need to put these back on. There we go. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I am actually, let's take a quick look at the FMC. So we are about 42 nautical miles from the top of climb. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to click once, and that should actually speed things up a little bit so that, you know, the flight isn't that long. For the most part, I think people aren't interested in takeoff and landing, but since this is a live stream, you know, we'll spice it up with some, you know, some stories and things like that. Yeah. And we have a new member, First Flight. Welcome to the VVIP membership here at the Q8Pilot channel. Welcome aboard, my friend, and thank you for your support. All right, we'll see you later, full flight. You take care of yourself. So we are climbing now. We continue the climb to 36,000 feet, and it should be faster now with the ×2 ground speed. By the way, I am using XP Realistic in this video, and I'm using the impressive preset for Lula. I think it has far greater sky colors, far better sky colors, and the clouds are actually very nice as well. Effect on FPS is quite negligible, so I thought that it's actually better than what I've been using. And we have a new VVIP member, Dougal. Thank you very much, my friend, and welcome to the Q8Pilot VVIP membership. And by the way, I did finally get the syncing between the Discord and the YouTube members to work. So it is working now. I am retired, so not a real pilot. Fine, all the tech skills, so many subjects, nav, weather, systems, GPS, requires study and knowledge. I find it sim a great way to keep my mind alert and engaged. Absolutely, Doug. Yeah, that's definitely. I mean, it keeps me on edge as well. I mean, it keeps me very alert. You keep learning new things, and learning new things really is absolutely great.
Thousand to go.
1,000 feet to go, and just for those of you who just joined us, we are running at 2 ground speed, just to kind of in the interest of time. And here we go. This is 36,000 feet.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Just a short message from the cockpit to let you know we have in fact reached our cruise level. We're now level at 35,000 feet, and we're not anticipating any delays. So as the cabin crew make their way around the aircraft, please make sure you keep the aisles clear of any items, and sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of your flight. Thank you.
Okay, that was the captain addressing the passengers. So we are at 36,000 feet, which is the final cruise altitude today for our flight. I'm going to keep the 2x ground speed on, and we are approximately 190 nautical miles from the top of descent point, but we should get there fairly quickly with the time compression there. So I'll answer more of your questions. I am planning something. I'm planning a huge giveaway at the 50K mark. So the channel has been growing steadily in the past few months, and I think since my return to flight simming, I think I've been getting really healthy growth, both in terms of views and subscribers. So I'm planning something very, very special for the 50K milestone, and yeah, it's going to include some hardware, some software, some gift certificates. It's going to be massive, guys. So just make sure that you stay updated with the channel. There will be, of course, some exclusive content for my YouTube members on Discord, as well as the community tab. But of course, that does not mean that others won't also get some, you know, some very snazzy stuff as well. So yeah, I have a lot planned. I hope that I can get the time to do everything that I want to do for the channel, really. I do have some plans to also bring in a webcam, because I think a lot of people have been asking me about that. Super chat, unfortunately, does not work in Kuwait. So if I am to use Super Chat, I need to change the country, and I think that is like against the terms and conditions or something like that. So yeah. Face reveal incoming. Yeah, well, you can actually see my face. If I'm not really sure what's the infatuation with that, but I guess people like to put a face to the voice and, you know, to a person that they've been interacting with. But so if you actually want to see some pictures of me, you can head over to my Instagram account, Q8Captain74 on Instagram, and there is actually a picture of me posted there for your viewing pleasure, I guess, for those of you who, you know, who wants to see what I look like. I hope I don't scare you, but yeah, I have a picture there. You can go and take a look at it. Let's see. Well, I'm really glad that you know, that you found my videos inspiring. Thank you, Amari, for posting the link to my Instagram. I think a lot of people, this is actually one of the rewards for me, is when actually somebody tells me that, you know, I brought them to flight simming. I know that I've inspired many to become real world pilots, and actually there was a guy who I think it was the second year I started flight simming. He watched one of my videos and he got really inspired, and he actually went into aviation. He became a commercial pilot, and he sent me, I think last year it was, he sent me his picture in his, you know, first officer uniform. I was really, really happy to see it, and I really felt inspired and felt a serious obligation towards, you know, the flight sim community, and that I should really continue to deliver content to this community and continue to inspire people to do what they like to do. So yeah, thank you very much for letting me know. I really appreciate it. All right, let's see here. Do you fly Airbus? Yeah, I do fly the Airbus, the TOLUS and the Flight Factor. I really hope that the Flight Factor A320 would get the update for Vulcan, but according to Flight Factor, they are actually not going to do that until X-Plane 11.5 is final. So it's probably going to be quite some time before we see it in Vulcan. There is, by the way, a very interesting Airbus in the making, which is the inbuilds, something like that, A300. I think it's a cargo variant, but I'm really, I'm anxiously waiting for that one. From the pictures, it looks absolutely stunning, and it looks like it's going to be a study level simulation of the aircraft. Of course, I don't know. I don't have any more information than you guys. I've been watching the news flowing on that aircraft on the Threshold website, and please do visit thresholdx.net. They are my partners. They also help me with my Discord, and also they some of the members there also moderate the channel. They're a great bunch of folks, really, if you ask me. I'm really happy with my partnership with Threshold. And please also visit SimWings. Their website is in the description of the video. Please do visit SimWings community. Again, they are a community by flight simmers, and their sole purpose of existence is to help other flight simmers. So please do visit their website, and if you're feeling generous, go ahead and donate something to SimWings. It will only bring joy to other flight simmers. Thank you very much, Amari, for posting the link. And there you have it. The link is now here in the chat. All right, let's take a look here. We are now 99 nautical miles, so we're getting close to our destination. Let's go ahead and set things up for our arrival. So we are, this is the ILS frequency, and where was it? 109.3. All right, so 109.3, let's see here. 109.3, and we'll turn that to the active, and we're going to do the same thing here. 109.3, and we'll set that to the active, and that is now set. And the next thing is we're going to do flaps 30 today, and 148 plus 5, 153 for our approach speed, and the final approach course is 263 degrees. So let's set that 263, and we're going to set this one here as well, 263. All right, all is set. Yeah, you can see the clouds here. Let me, I think that is really nice. You can see the clouds here of XP Realistic. I think they look a lot better than anything else I've used thus far since the launch of X-Plane 11.5. And no degradation in performance, maybe something very negligible. So definitely much better than anything else, yeah. There, that's a better look. There we go. All right. And we have a new subscriber. Welcome to the channel. Guillermo, is that how you say your first name? Guillermo? I hope I said it correctly, because I know I had a friend from Panama, and I think that's how he spelled his name, but we used to call him Guillermo. So I'm not sure about the L's. I hope I said your name correctly. All right, let's take a look here at top of descent, 58 nautical miles. So we're getting close now to top of descent. Thank you very much. I'm glad that you're enjoying the stream. We're still getting that flicker on the clouds. Not so much on the ground now. There was a Lewis script that I got. Not sure where I found it, but it seems to resolve the flickering. Anyway, I think since beta 11, X-Plane beta 11, I think the flickering of the ground, shadows is gone. I still use an abacus. Hate that flicker. Yeah, me too, man. It's really, really bad. It just really kills the immersion. But you can, I'm not sure why it happens, but it's really annoying. Hopefully they'll fix it with the release of X-Plane 11.5. Thank you very much, Kareem, for your kind words. Really appreciate it. No, those clouds are XP realistic. Yeah, the impressive preset for Lua. That's what I'm using in this. In the stream. Yeah. All right, let's see here. We are 33 nautical miles from top of descent, ladies and gentlemen, and what we're going to do is, I believe that the approach platform is 2,500 feet, so we are going to reset the MCP altitude to 2,500. Let's see here, 2,500 feet, and we have to go to this black screen again because we need to let our passengers know.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the cockpit once again, you'll be delighted to know that we will shortly be starting our descent, at which point the cabin crew will start preparing for our arrival. If you can make sure all aisles are clear for the cabin crew to start making their way around the aircraft, it would be most appreciated. Thank you.
Some turbulence there. And I think I heard the passengers. Wow. All right, let's turn on the fasten seatbelt sign and make sure that we are clear of this turbulence. Yeah, that was really funny. Alright, looks like everything is back to normal. We're coming 13 nautical miles to top of descent. I think we're fine now. So we're going to turn off the fasten seatbelt signs. And yeah, we should begin the automatic descent shortly here. That was really funny. For the announcements that you've been hearing and for the safety music that you heard in the very beginning, that was actually self-loading cargo is what I'm using in this video or in this live stream. So yeah, so 3 nautical miles. All right, we're gonna do that. All right, so 1 nautical mile to top of descent, and I've now disabled the compression. And as you can see now, we have begun the descent towards Melbourne. We should be there in no time now. Yeah, that was quite a shake, really. I'm pretty sure all the passengers were pretty shook up there. Increase the range here a bit to see where we are. Okay, there we go. It looks like it's a straight into runway 27 at Melbourne.
Ladies and gentlemen from the cockpit, you may have noticed we have just begun descending to our destination. We're not expecting any delay at this time, so should have you on the ground in the next 20 minutes or so. If you could assist the cabin crew by tidying your tray and have them any later to come around, that would be most appreciated. And please make sure to fasten your seatbelts. For safety reasons, please turn off all electronic devices or switch to airplane mode until after we've landed.
Looks like we're in for a rough approach, guys.
Thank you.
I can hear the passengers screaming again in the back. They pulled the fugees. Yeah, they certainly did. Yeah, absolutely. All right, I think we can. There, we don't need that anymore. Let's clear the message here on the FMC. And the rate of descent is a bit too much in my view. Nothing biggie though, but yeah, it's kind of yeah, 3,000, 2,500 is okay. Anything more than that, I think is excessive. Yeah, the aircraft is adjusting now the rate of descent. All right, let's take a look at the external view. Just look at that. Absolutely beautiful. be honest with you guys, I like the Zibo mod more than I like the PMDG and P3D. It's just this aircraft is under constant updates, and it looks like they've introduced something new called the approach system here, approach rating. I'm not sure how it works, but we'll see once we land. Maybe it will have some data there. But yeah, it's an aircraft that has evolved from the default laminar aircraft into a very accurate simulation of a 737-8. Really, Zibo has done wonders with this aircraft. Very, very well made, even in terms of the textures, the sounds, all the functionality that has been brought into it. Really great aircraft. Yes, we are performing an ILS approach, runway 27. I was actually I was hoping that the weather would give us runway 34 to do a GLS approach, but unfortunately, the wind is not in the direction that I actually like. But let's check the weather at Melbourne. So this METAR has been issued about 4 minutes ago. We've got a few clouds at 900 feet, broken at 3,700. Visibility is at least 10 kilometers. The temperature is 8 Celsius. Humidity, check this out, 100%. Altimeter is 1024. Yeah. And runway 27 is the favored runway for arrival. We've got about 8 knots of headwind at runway 27. So yeah, runway 34's got about 3, so runway 27 is definitely favored considering the headwind. The runway 27 is 2,285 by 45 meters. It's an asphalt runway. And yeah, we should be there momentarily now. Do you have any tutorial on non-ILS runway landings? So I have several of those you can find in my channel. I have a playlist called Flight Navigation Tutorials, and there you should be able to find many non-precision approaches and things like that. But if there is something specific that you're after, let me know. I'll be more than happy to do a video on it. Just guys, look at this scene. It looks absolutely gorgeous. The clouds, those XP realistic clouds. X-plane looks great. It just looks great. This is, by the way, the latest beta. So this is beta 13. I find it to be very smooth. And definitely works pretty well. No issues thus far, but just make sure that you don't upgrade to the latest NVIDIA driver. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a lot of stuff. Yeah, it looks like it's pretty cold in Melbourne at the moment. Here, let's take a look at this scene from the outside. Just look at that. That looks really good. Beautiful. I really like the Qantas livery. Very, very nice. How about that? I mean, this looks pretty realistic in terms of visuals. I really like the cloud texture. You can see this area here. It's really, really good. So I don't mind the fact that XP Realistic does not have the, does not have the shaders. I don't really mind that too much, because I think still the sky colors and the clouds look very nice. So I think it still works for me. By the way, guys, if you like any specific icons for the channel, if you like to make icons for the channel, I'll be more than happy to replace whatever we have with whatever you guys want. Again, the name of the game is for you guys to enjoy and have fun while I stream. So definitely, yeah. My name. Yeah, the scenery is really nice. By the way, the scenery is nothing but SFD, short final designs. So all the global scenery, of course, across X-Plane is changed to that of SFD. All right, we're coming to the decel point here, where we need to start reducing our speed. And we are actually pretty close to Melbourne now. Yeah, look at that. That looks very, very nice indeed. All right, so what do you guys predict for the landing? What do you think the landing rate is going to be? I think I'm going to do a good job today. All right, we're coming up to 11,000. All right, I'm going to extend the speed brake to help reduce our speed. Set up here. All right, let me grab the altimeter 1024. All right, altimeter is set. We continue to reduce our speed. And we're getting close to 10,000 feet. Landing lights, runway turn off lights, and all the lights are now on. That is some serious scene. Very, very nice. Let's take a look at the outside. Yeah, just look at that. Well, the impressive preset of XP Realistic is quite impressive, I must say. Yeah, it's really nice. Alright, we don't need the speed brakes anymore. We can actually arm them. Alright, so we are now pretty close, as you can see here. This is the runway right there, runway 27. So we're actually pretty close. We are doing very well in terms of our altitude, descending nicely into our final platform altitude of 2,500 feet. We are currently at 245. We need to be at 230. So let's extend the speed brake just to bring our speed down a little bit. So flight sim hardware. So what I'm using for the flight yoke, I'm using the Alpha flight controls, and I also use the HOTAS throttle, and plus the HOTAS Warthog joystick. I don't use the joystick much.
Prepare the cabin for landing. Thank you.
All right, so we're preparing the cabin for landing now. All is looking good here. That's the decel point. All right, let's decrease the range now. There we go. And all is looking good. So, landing predictions, folks. Gonna be butter. Okay, isn't this Ultra Weather XP? No, that's XP Realistic. Right, looks like we're gonna go through the clouds here, so I'm gonna turn on the anti-ice equipment, just in case. We're looking just fine for our approach now.
As we're about to land, I ask all customers to make sure their seatbelts firmly fastened and also the electronic devices are in flight mode. Thank you for your cooperation. Thank you.
Alright, so the passengers have just been advised to turn off all electronic devices in preparation for landing. Not on my, not on fire is my bed. Alright, so the effect, of course, going through the clouds, since these are not 3D clouds, so you'll always find them moving away because these are actually graphics, they're 2D clouds, but it still looks good. I mean, it doesn't bother me that much, to be honest. The only two weather programs that have a nice depiction of the, you know, the smoothness, a cloud smoothness effect would be SkyMax Pro, the new version, and X-Enviro. X-Enviro still is in the making, and it needs time before it is made available to the public. It's still being tested. I hear though it's gonna be really good. The new version is gonna be really good. So there we go. All right, so here's what we're gonna do, folks. We are going to reduce our speed now. So let me click here. We're gonna descend at 800 feet, 850 feet per minute, and we're gonna reduce the speed to 100 and let's see, 90 knots now. 100 actually, it's 85 knots. Yeah, there we go. Increase our rate of descent to 1,000 feet per minute. And that's the runway right ahead of us now. Speed check and flaps 1. This to be here. Let's arm it. Everything here looks good. Cabin crew are ready now. Okay, we're gonna go to flaps 5. Thousand feet to go.
1,000 to go.
all is looking good for our approach now. Let's take a look at the outside. Yeah, looks pretty good. As V1 simulation says, it looks juicy. Alright, here we go. We are now stabilizing at 2,500 feet, which is our platform altitude today. We are looking good, and we're gonna click here on the approach button. And we have now intercepted the localizer. As you can see here, VR lock, and we are going to click on command 2. We're looking good on the approach now. And the needle started moving. 153 is our final approach speed today. All right, let's get ready now. And gear is going down. Flaps 15, speed to 160 knots.
Cabin crew, please take your seats for landing. Thank you.
Alright, and at this point we're going to go to 153, which is our final approach speed. And we're going to go to flaps 30. Looking good, ladies and gentlemen. We are about 4.7 DME from the runway. Hello, Melbourne, Australia. Land 3. And we will disconnect at about 1,000 feet. All's looking good now. Butter that bread. I hope so, my friend. I definitely hope so.
1,000.
Let me adjust my throttle.
Stabilized, missed approach altitude.
All right, 1,000 feet. Autopilot is off. My aircraft. Auto throttle is off. And we're going to try to maintain. We need to descend just a little bit here.
Approaching 27.
There we go. Still 2 reds, 2 whites, so we are looking good.
400. 300. 100. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Woo! Whoa! That was really hard. Jeez. Now I don't have the FPM, so you guys have it. You can let me know what it was. But I can just tell, alright, 80 knots and manual braking.
We'll be taxiing for the next few minutes, so please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened and all items stowed until the seatbelt sign is turned on.
Welcome to Australia. With your safety in mind, please stay in your seat until the captain has switched off the seatbelt sign.
Welcome to Melbourne, ladies and gentlemen.
Changing off your seatbelt, you may now deactivate flight mode. If you're continuing on a Qantas domestic flight to any domestic destination, please make sure you make.
Holy head shake! Yeah. Do you guys have the?
The Jetstar flights, please make your way to
take a
Terminal
look
4.
here.
Both these
300 feet per minute, man. That was a firm
you
landing.
cleared immigration, collected your bags, and cleared customs
I expected
here in
better, but that's
If you're
fine.
continuing on another international flight,
We made it
and have a boarding
safely.
pass for this flight, just check the screens throughout the terminal for details of your next flight
But
departure.
yeah, that was
If you don't
a
have
pretty
boarding
firm
pass just yet,
landing
make your way
for
to the
sure.
transfer area, and as always, the Qantas ground team is happy to help. Now please take care when opening the overhead lockers, as your bags may have moved and could fall out. Remember to check your seat and the seat pocket for any personal belongings. And once the seatbelt sign is off, you'll be leaving through the forward door on the left-hand side. Just a reminder, smoking in the use of e-cigarettes is not permitted unless there's a designated smoking area in the terminal. And ladies and gentlemen, just once again, please remain seated until the seatbelt sign has been switched off. On behalf of the Qantas team, One World, Captain Tim McCubbin, Christine, myself and the rest of the team on board today here, and of course for those returning, welcome home. Thank you, Monty.
Alright, so we are going to now just access the terminal. And then we're going to take a look at the landing. It was a pretty firm landing, huh? 300 feet per minute, wow. Firm but fair, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, we'll take a look at the landing report in a minute. Right, I think we can turn off the runway turn-off lights. The APU is now available. What do you guys think of the using time compression? Do you think it's you know, do you think it's a nice thing to do on such short flights? I think it was. I think the length was reasonable, so it wasn't too short, not too long. What do you guys think? Should I use time compression in future videos, or you know, would you like to kind of, you know, talk about, you know, flight simming more, and you know, just leave the flight run at its own length, at the realistic length? Yeah, you let me know. Alright, we're going to find a spot to park this aircraft. Looks like we're crossing the runway here, so just let's make sure we're safe, which we are. I like those runway textures. That's the I can't remember, LELES, something like that. But yeah, I'll dig the actual add-on I'm using, and I'll post it for you guys. By the way, on the sceneries on both the airports, Sydney and Melbourne, a lot of the aircraft that you see are actually static aircraft, because this is very, very old scenery. So not all of them are from Traffic Global. I normally turn off static aircraft because I'm using Traffic Global. So not all the aircraft are from Traffic Global. Some of them are, some of them are not. All right, here we go. Thankfully, the taxi to the terminal in Melbourne is not as long as taxiing to the runway in Sydney. Here we go. I think there's a spot there where we can bring the aircraft to a complete stop. I think this one works here. I thought I saw something here. There we go. Okay, and let's bring the aircraft to a complete stop and set the parking brake. We are going to turn on the APU bleed, and let's kill the engines. Okay, and we'll turn off the anti-collision light and turn off the fasten seatbelt signs. All right, let's take a look at the landing now. Let's see here. Probably right down here. That's there we go.
2500.
All right. Bit of the stuttering. That's the, let's see here if we can, that's the aircraft from the control tower view. There we go. That was definitely a hard landing. Here, let's do it again. Let's go. Let's see here. Yeah, pretty firm.
Cabin crew, the aircraft is secure. Please open doors. Thank you.
Yeah, it definitely did not look as it felt. It looks a lot less firm than than what we've got in terms of the the landing rate. But yeah, that's fine. We can go here now, and what happened to this? All right, let's take a look here at the, not the flight log, not the flight log. No, that's not what I wanted to do. We need to, yes, so we'll say yes, view flight report. Okay, so this is what 74.5 is the passenger rating, so minus 0.09% improvement. So the passengers were less happy. By the way, this is for those of you who are new to this is a self-loading cargo if you haven't seen the video. So this is the final rating for this, for me as a pilot, B-. Says this was a good flight. You communicated effectively with cabin crew during the critical flight phases. Ensuring their safety or control inputs left a lot to be desired and created a lot of discomfort for the passengers. Try not to mishandle the aircraft so much. Smooth inputs are key to a comfortable and controlled flight. Your landing was a little firm, but certainly within comfort limits for the passengers. Try to manage the flare a little better if you can. Overall, your passengers weren't any worse off than when they boarded. So good job on not upsetting them. So yeah, so I think that's fine. We arrived, scheduled arrival was at 7:45 Zulu. We arrived at 7:05, so 40 minutes early. The scheduled departure was 1:30 Zulu. So on time, we're good. You pulled off too hard. The passenger experienced very uncomfortable G-forces. You pushed down too hard. Again, this has led to uncomfortable G-forces. So again, this is a self-loading cargo, and if you guys like it, I made a full video on self-loading cargo on Twitch, so you can actually go back and watch it now if you like. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is pretty much what I wanted to share with you in this live stream. I hope that you really enjoyed this stream today. I certainly enjoyed really broadcasting here from Kuwait to all of you around the world. And until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other. I will see you all very soon. You take care of yourselves, stay safe, and bye-bye for now.